Let's dive into the full story of Baron Zemo, one of Marvel's most brilliant villains. In a world full of superpowers, Zemo stands out by using nothing but his mind. No flashy weapons, no special abilities, just pure strategy. And yet, he managed to do what no villain had done before Thanos. He broke the Avengers from within. And all of it was for his family. His elegance and calm charisma in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier even made him more popular than the actual leads. Some fans joked the show should have been called The Agent and the Baron. So, what's his story? Let's start from the beginning. Zemo was a Baron from Sokovia. Before everything went down, he was also the leader of an elite special forces team, skilled both in combat and intelligence. Despite his status, he chose to keep his family away from the city center, fearing that the presence of superpowered beings might bring danger. But fate had other plans. In Avengers: Age of Ultron, during the battle to stop Ultron, Iron Man and Thor helped destroy the floating city of Sokovia. The giant chunks of falling debris caused massive damage around the area. By the time Zemo rushed to the scene, it was too late. His father, his wife, and his son had all died. And the Avengers? They just went home. This wasn't an alien invasion. It was a mess they created. They fixed it, and the world called them heroes. But what about Zemo's family? Who would care for them? From that moment, Zemo made it his mission to take down the Avengers, not with force, but from within. As he saw it, the best way to destroy an empire is to make it collapse from the inside. Zemo tracked down a former Hydra agent. He staged a minor car accident to lower the man's guard, and when the agent opened the door, Zemo knocked him out cold. This agent was once in charge of programming the Winter Soldier at a Hydra base in the Arctic. In his home, Zemo found a red notebook. Inside were the Russian trigger words to activate Bucky Barnes. But that wasn't all he needed. There was something else, a secret mission the Winter Soldier carried out back in 1991. That mission was the key to Zemo's entire plan.
Mission report, December 16, 1991. How did you find me?
After the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. in The Winter Soldier, Black Widow leaked millions of classified documents. Zemo spent an entire year decoding every single one.
I have experience and patience. A man can do anything if he has those.
The agent didn't want to talk. No problem. Zemo had other ways of getting what he needed.
Hydra deserves its place on the ash heap, so your death would not bother me. You'd only be dying for your pride. Hail, Hydra.
Not long ago, the Avengers were in Wakanda, taking down the last remnants of Hydra. But during the mission, one mistake from Wanda and Cappy caused a bomb to go off inside a high-rise building. Once again, innocent civilians were caught in the crossfire, another tragedy caused by superpowered heroes. That incident triggered a global response. Multiple nations called for a formal hearing to decide how the Avengers should operate going forward. And for Zemo, that was the perfect opening. He secretly planted a bomb at the hearing and succeeded in killing the King of Wakanda. The victim wasn't the point. What mattered was the fake evidence Zemo planted, framing Bucky Barnes for the attack. Suddenly, Bucky became the most wanted man in the world. It was a brilliant move. After the Winter Soldier, the Avengers had spent 2 years trying to find Bucky and failed. But now? Within a single day, someone leaked his location. The military launched a full-scale manhunt, and soon the whole thing turned into chaos. Cap and Falcon showed up, Black Panther joined the chase, and eventually everyone was captured.
Congratulations, Cap. You're a criminal.
Given Bucky's history of being brainwashed by Hydra, the military decided to bring in a psychologist for the interrogation. But what they didn't know was that the real doctor had already been killed. The man sitting across from Bucky was Zemo in disguise. Before the session even began, Zemo had already mailed a mysterious package to the nearest power station. Now, inside the interrogation room, as soon as he saw the delivery marked "Received," he dropped the act and revealed his true identity. Workers opened the package, boom, power went out across the grid, including inside the holding facility. This guy? Seriously smart. In that brief blackout, Zemo pulled out the red notebook and started reciting the trigger words that would activate the Winter Soldier.
Желание. Ржавой.
Stop.
12.
Stop.
Разведь.
As Zemo recited the trigger words one by one, Bucky grew more and more distressed. Trapped inside the containment cell, he pounded the glass in pain, trying to resist, but it was useless. With the final words spoken, the chamber shattered, and Bucky was once again transformed into the Winter Soldier.
So that's
Я готов отвечать.
mission report. December 16, 1991.
So what happened back in 1991? It all started when Howard Stark, after decades of research, successfully recreated the Super Soldier Serum. But that breakthrough sealed his fate. Hydra sent the Winter Soldier to intercept the Starks on their way to the airport. Bucky ambushed them, retrieved the serum samples, and killed Howard and his wife. Later, Hydra created 5 more Winter Soldiers. Even before taking the serum, these guys were elite mercenaries, fluent in over 30 languages, masters of combat and weapons. And after getting the serum, their strength was on par with Bucky's, way stronger than the Flag Smashers from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But there was a flaw. The serum from Howard had nasty side effects. These new super soldiers were too unstable, so aggressive that even Hydra's brainwashing couldn't control them. That's why they were kept frozen in a Siberian facility. Bucky remained the only active operative. Zemo, after analyzing Shai-Eld's leaked files from the Winter Soldier and data from the captured Hydra agent, pieced together most of the events from 1991. Now he only needed one thing: the exact location of those 5 frozen soldiers. He also needed to stir things up just enough for the Avengers to realize someone was digging into Bucky's past. Just then, Cap and the others finally arrived. Cap saw through Zemo's disguise and demanded to know what he was after. Zemo's response?
To see an empire fall.
Right after that, Bucky snapped, fully under Zemo's control, and unleashed a brutal combo, knocking Cap down the elevator shaft. With the Avengers and Bucky tangled up in chaos, Zemo slipped away unnoticed. Before heading to the Siberian base, he stopped to listen to one last voicemail from his wife. After hanging up, he caught the news. Cap and Bucky had vanished. That meant Bucky was back under Cap's control. When Zemo questioned Bucky about the mission, he kept his real goal vague, just asked for the base's location and dropped that cryptic line about destroying an empire, pushing Cap to believe Zemo's plan was to wake up the 5 super soldiers. After all, with their power, assassinating top leaders of any country wouldn't be a problem. But that was never Zemo's plan. As soon as he reached the base, he executed all 5 Winter Soldiers in their sleep. Zemo hated superpowered people, especially super soldiers like Cap. Why? That's something we'll uncover later in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Meanwhile, Cap gathered his crew and headed for Siberia, only to run into Iron Man and his team. They clashed, since Tony still didn't believe the 5 Winter Soldiers even existed. That fight? Let's just say some got arrested, some went back to school, and some got replaced by Skrulls. In the end, only Cap and Bucky made it to the base. Why? Because Bucky was the only one who knew where it was. If Cap could only bring one partner, it had to be Bucky. Zemo didn't know how many people Cap would bring. But as long as Cap and Bucky showed up, that was enough. Everything was going according to his plan.